We are back with you live with another Johnny Torch live broadcast. Here we are once again, seated high atop stately Torch Tower, looking at the fair metropolis down below. And we're doing an art stream today. Yes, the only way to spend your Saturday here with us on the Johnny Torch live program. And we're going to be coloring a page from the highly anticipated upcoming issue 7 of The Adventures of Bullets Bourbon, Private Eye. We're going to do the cover debut. If you were on my Twitter page literally an hour ago, you've already seen it. But for those of you who have not yet frequented the page, stay tuned. We're going to get to it in just a second, but we got to do the house cleaning first. Well, housekeeping, I guess I should say. Make sure you like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell for notifications, as they say. And check the link in the description below for The Adventures of Bullets Bourbon, Private Eye. It's an all-ages action-adventure series based on the exploits of a down-on-his-luck private eye who takes on the most colorful collection of villains imaginable in each and every issue. Also, you can find a link to my Twitter down below there in the description as well. So, without any further ado, here we are, the cover of Bullets Bourbon number 7. And this whole story arc is going to be called The Family Jewels. And we've got Bullets Bourbon smack dab in the middle, stuck in the middle with Veronica right there. He's stuck in the middle of a gang war between the fruit salad mob and the vegetable garden gang. Carrot Top has returned home to his father, who is a powerful Don in the crime family, the Stark City crime family, the Fruit Salad Gang. And they are after a priceless statue, the 10,000 carat carrot. We're going to, let me zoom in on this here so that we can get some better looks at some of these characters. Of course, there we are, Parsnip Top, the evil gang leader himself. There is Cucumber Puss, who is Pickle Puss's father. Parsnip Top, of course, his trusted advisor and lackey, something of how Carrot Top is with Pickle Puss. And we've got some images of the, let's see, the fruit salad mob here. Let me, this is the vegetable garden gang first, of course. Not all of them have names, really, because, some of them are lackeys. You see Art the Choker, the artichoke guy. Tom Ado, who is the consigliere to Don Parsnip Top. Nick Broccoli. Some pretty interesting characters there. And then on the other side, we have some otherwise interesting characters. The nemesi of the vegetable garden gang for generations. We have the fruit salad mob led by Adam Apple. And if you can see, it's pretty cool. You can see he has little apple seeds for teeth. And he is accompanied by his son, Corey Apple, who is, the next generation, sort of the way Carrot Top is for Pickle Puss. I mean, Carrot Top is for Parsnip Top. Corey is sort of the next generation waiting in the wings here to lead the fruit salad mob, which is still under the guidance of Adam Apple. And of course, we have some also of his lackeys as well here, also on the side. So, of course, also taking center stage, of course, the lovely Veronica. We've heard a lot about her in previous issues. Carrot Top's, well, we don't really know. That's pretty interesting. I think you're going to find her relationship with Carrot Top very interesting. And as a hint towards that end, in all the promotional material on Twitter and so forth, I've referred to her as serving her master Carrot Top. And that might be a little telling about their relationship, because I think a lot of people, from her introduction being on the phone, Carrot Top pretty much bragging to her about his plans all the time, one might think that she's his girlfriend. Not so. I won't say any more than that because you'll have to read the issue. Hopefully, this baby will be out by, I'm hoping, November. That is the plan. If all things go well, maybe a little sooner. Probably, if things go as they usually do, it'll be a little bit later. So I'm hoping for November, probably December. Bullets Bourbon issue number 7, and the story, as well as the story arc, is going to be called The Family Jewels. Of course, that's in reference to the 2 crime families fighting each other over a jeweled statuette, lest anyone think any otherwise. Okay, so again, I'll try to entertain any questions about the issue, if anyone has any, and leave them in the chat or the comments below, and we'll get to them another time. But if you're here live, be happy to talk to you on the chat and answer any questions you have. Of course, this is also very interesting. You see Bullets and Veronica handcuffed. What is that all about? We will find that out soon as well. Once the issue drops, The Adventures of Bullets Bourbon, Private Eye, issue 7, The Family Jewels. And you can check out the previous 6 issues in the canon. If you go to the link in the description below, we just finished with the first issue that's finally out now. I don't know if I'm going to do an Indiegogo. I'm still kind of mulling it over because I did an Indiegogo last year that went nowhere. Admittedly, I didn't do a whole heck of a lot of promotion for it, but I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't take the time to do things like that. I really would like to jump really into this project with both feet and just keep plowing along. I'm going to have to take off at least a month to try to get promotion going for an Indiegogo. We'll see how that goes. I'm still not really committed. But until then, check out the issues that we already have out, issue 2 and issue 3. You can see the in the banner below there. We have $8 for the Knock on Wood issue. That is the collection of issues 2 and 3, where Bullets meets Pencil Neck, his most dangerous adversary, mad as a March hare, and with incredible powers to cause his enemies to disappear and deteriorate right before your eyes. The third, we're calling these collections the Chronicles, because it sounds more fancy than just saying collection. So these Chronicles, this is the third Chronicle is Knock on Wood. That's where you have the famous meeting of Carrot Top and Pencil Neck, them joining forces to try to take over the world. Nothing less than the world is at stake. They have also the lackey Sour Note, the murderous maestro, also in play. We also have the beautiful Desiree Miller, who Bullets is smitten with, and that whole saga of the love affair that was not to be. And of course, Detective Scotch, Horatio T. Scotch, who shows up pretty much to be a pain in the neck for Bullets. He's a lot of fun. And if you haven't seen those issues already, check them out. You can pick them up on Indie Planet. And also, of course, you could order them straight from my website. I think, yeah, on Indie Planet, we do have them as digital downloads. I didn't lower the prices, though, because I really prefer that you guys check these out as actual books. That's the whole fun of it. To me, digital downloads are okay for, you know, individual issues. If you want to pick up an issue and have it, it's a little bit cheaper, that's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. But with these collections are special. They're really special to me, and I want to make sure that you get your hands on them as an actual copy. All right, so there we have it. Bullets Bourbon number 7. Coming soon to your hands, hopefully. All right, so we are going back to this page now. This is page number 9. I'm roughly halfway through the book. As I was saying on Twitter today, I don't know why this happens to me. You get what you don't pay for, I guess, with GIMP. But my laptop here updated on its own. And whenever that happens, I'm always guaranteed to lose like 2 days worth of work. And that's exactly what happened here. I ended up losing 2 days worth of work. The page I was working on, the color layer disappeared on me. I don't know why. I saved it. Just, I don't know. The problem is, I think I don't export my pages as soon as I'm done coloring them, which is something I would recommend, because then you have it ready for print no matter what. It's like it won't, nothing will go back on you. Pull this up a little more. These art streams are fun for me, but I don't think anybody watches them, mostly because it's me just jawing while I'm playing around here with the, the stylus and stuff. I really should get a second banana. Who wants to apply for the job of second banana for me to do these art streams with? Someone that can just jaw with me. I don't know. If you're interested, apply in the comments below. And, it doesn't have to be a lifelong gig. You could just do it for a broadcast or two. All right, now this is what we do. I pull some of the color down from a pre-existing pre-colored page, and we start coloring in. Now, depending on how large the section is, I might just outline it and then fill it. But stuff like this, I can just handle with the stylus. There's not much to talk about this week, otherwise I would do a Torch News roundup. The biggest news that I've heard is they're continuing to postpone all the movies, and the movie houses are expected not to open. We have, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier being postponed on Disney+. I guess these places didn't get their footage shot. Otherwise, they would be ready to go. I don't know. This is sort of a time-consuming thing, but I've decided to trace the lines with some silver to try to give Parsnip Top the hint of a little age, because he's basically white. It's kind of hard to get some color in him, As I've said before, this is my first biracial character, so I'm being very progressive here. Carrot Top is actually biracial. His father is a parsnip. Of course, his mother's a carrot, and you do meet her briefly in the story. She only has a cameo, but I felt it worthy of having her introduced. That's kind of the thing with these fictional things. You don't really get into the family most of the time. I haven't done a story where Bullets Bourbon's mother is in it. But, I don't know. Where do you find, the stories are sort of like the action that takes place in between real life. So I imagine, Bullets has a family. I think in the second issue, I was actually going to have Bullets' brother guest star, because I'd established in my early sort of show Bible that, he has a brother and a sister. But that script was changed at the last minute because it really didn't feel necessary, because I already had 3 characters, and to add another one to the adventure for really no apparent reason didn't really make a whole lot of sense. All right. Let's see. Let's see. As usual, I don't have a lot to say. It is powerfully warm here in Torch Tower yet again. So this is probably not going to be a long stream, because I need to turn the fan on pretty soon. All right, Carrot Top is a young and vain criminal mastermind. His father is old school, and you'll see them clash in this episode. It's basically the old ways versus the young ways. Carrot Top is sort of got stars in his eyes for world domination, but his father is quite the opposite. He wants to just, run the syndicate, eke out a good criminal living, and, stay under the radar. He's pretty much respected as a member of Stark City society, while his son is sort of the on-the-run criminal. And so he tries to take Carrot Top under his wing, but their relationship is pretty contentious, as you will see. Not so with Pickle Puss and Cucumber Puss. They have an actually pretty good relationship. They're really strong in their relationship as sort of a counterpoint to how Carrot Top and Parsnip Top are. In this issue, of course, Bullets is still hurting over his failed relationship with Desiree from the previous issue. And you're going to see how that affects him going forward. He is not in a good place. And he is going to somewhat take that out on his friends, as you will see. Of course, Carrot Top in an interesting role, being, subordinate here to his father. Very interesting character. Parsnip Top is. He's very interesting because it's different to see how a villain that's sort of got, no real animosity towards Bullets Bourbon. He's very much just, like I said, trying to keep his business going. And this is sort of like an out-of-the-way experiment for him. He doesn't really go into crime in this manner. You're going to get some glimpses of some dialogue here. I don't know if I like that. Guys, I want you to be surprised. But this is basically the way I do it. I wish I knew how to do the fill technique where you just use the wand to hit it and it'll just fill up without having to trace the lines. Unfortunately, that doesn't work for me anymore. It only did the first couple of times I used it in the first, 2 books, I think. And then it stopped working. And I don't know how to get it to work again, so there you have it. Okay. As I was saying, Bullets Bourbon, he's in sort of a bad way. And so he is susceptible, very prime susceptible to Veronica, who comes in hoping to seduce him to the dark side. And Bullets has vowed to bring Carrot Top to justice or die trying. And there's only a few ways this could go. I mean, this could be Bullets' last adventure, one way or the other. Either he falls to Veronica's feminine wiles and turns to the dark side to join Carrot Top, or he will defeat Carrot Top and retire, as he has pledged to do. Or he could, of course, simply fail and die trying. So that is the predicament he finds himself in. The horns of the dilemma, I suppose. How will this work out? We will soon find out when this issue does take center stage. Let's see. Anything else to talk about? I usually take these kind of streams to talk about like what's going on in Comicsgate or whatever. There's not really much going on. I don't keep up with it that much anymore. I was watching, I don't know, there was a big hootenanny over on Oz's channel where you had pretty much everybody that ever had anything to do with Comicsgate on it. But, yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if that marks the first time EVS and Doug has been on the same stream in probably over a year. Doug Tenaple. Very interesting whenever you see these guys all get back together again, because presumably there's some bad blood, I suppose. Presumably. sometimes I think, I don't know how much of it is juiced up for public consumption, just to, give them something to talk about. That's like Mike S. Miller was on, I think it was Deadwood Dale's show. And, of course, it turned into another one of those, EVS versus Mike type things. I think all sides know what they're doing at this point. It's like, yeah, let's get in there and mix it up a little bit, give a good show. I don't know how much of it is really, truly pure animosity anymore at this point. I think they're too far removed from it to have it be particularly personal anymore. Let's see. But like, I don't know. That was never my thing. I don't like getting into the controversy. I ain't got the time for that. Ain't got the time. But it does make for some interesting viewing, every now and again. It was getting to a point where it was just like too much. It was like overkill. And I think that's why a lot of people started turning away from sort of the daily infighting. It just got to be too much. Let's see. I was saying also on Twitter that I was going to try to not be quite as precious with the dialogue this time, because for the last 3 books, I've tried to make sure that every line written in the script gets put in the book. And I realized that, comics are a visual medium. You're really stretching the panel sometimes to get like all the dialogue in. And I don't want to be as precious as that every line has to make it in. I kind of prided myself on that I could get every line of dialogue in. But, you got to serve the story without, sort of like without your own personal, I guess, pride, like I was saying, of getting all the lines. And if something just takes up space and crowds the panels, and you could say it much easier another way, maybe that's the way to go, But as I also said, I'm a writer first. And I taught myself to draw so that I could tell these stories the way I wanted to tell them. So I'm not going to totally do away with the long conversations, the back and forth conversations. Those are kind of difficult sometimes to draw and have room for the balloons, the dialogue balloons. But of course, a conversation, an interesting conversation, means more to me. Well, it's about as interesting as a action scene, really. If you can get some good dialogue on the page, that's worth as much as an action scene. I don't want to say that we don't have a plethora of action scenes in Bullets Bourbon, but just that I enjoy them equally. Let me take a sip here. Some H2O. Alrighty. Let's see, we're coming up on a half hour. Let's see if we can keep this going for a few more minutes, and then we'll call it a day. So again, big plans for the world of Bullets Bourbon coming up. I'm hoping to get an animated clip. See, I hate when that happens. I end up hitting it wrong. Animated clip for advertising purposes. I'm working on that. And hopefully there's more things in the works. I don't want to tip my hand, so to speak, too much. But we're gonna try to make a real push to get Bullets Bourbon in stores, to get Bullets Bourbon in hands. We'll just see how it goes. Do the best we can. And that's all anybody could do. The best they can. do the best you can with the abilities God gave you. And obviously, put those gifts to good use. Got to work for it. Put the effort in. Took me like 20 years since I was 14 working on these books to get myself into the position now where I feel like they're ready to go. It's like you can't rush it. You can't rush the learning experience. And, I still got things to learn as well. But, it's a very, it's a gratifying thing when you can take yourself from like stick figures to actual artwork. And like I said, I've always said, I'm my own worst critic. I'm my own harshest critic, I guess I should say. I can look at any page I've done, and particularly the artwork, and say, oh, I could have done this better. I could have done it, if I had it do over again, I would have done different. But the deal is, you just do the best you can at that one moment in time when you're working on it, and you have to let it go after that. Let the chips fall where they may. That was the best you could do at that given time, and you gave it your best shot. That's all you can do. Art isn't beautiful because it's perfect. It's perfect because it's beautiful. And that's about as pretentious as I'm going to get today. But, you keep working on it and you'll get better. And I think, at least in my estimation, I'm a cartoonist. The idea is to do the whole book by myself. Like I said, that's the plan. I didn't get into cartooning so that I could make somebody else draw it. I didn't get into cartooning so that I could, oversee a lot of people working on the book and me just sitting back and, raking the money in or something. I want to get in there and do it myself. It's like one thing to have Rembrandt saying, here, put the paint here and do this here and do that there. But quite frankly, Rembrandt should be doing it himself. He shouldn't be delegating the responsibility to others, because then it's not his. It's somebody else's. And like I said, I designed and built up this series for myself. It's not meant to be shared. I'm not interested in shared universes or sharing it with people. I just want to do the best I can in this universe I've created. Probably some of it is being a control freak, I guess. But, no one knows how these characters are supposed to look but me. You know what I mean? Nobody else would do justice to them the way I would. All right, so I guess we're going to call it a day here. Let's see if I can pull this up a little bit further so you can see. We did a little work here. Let's see. Yeah. Got a lot more to go on this page. I'll give you a glimpse here of Veronica and Carrot Top. And yeah, this is going to be pretty exciting. All right, so thank you for joining me here for a brief live stream, an art stream. And we'll try to do a Torch News roundup, hopefully if there's enough news next week. But if not, I'll try to do something. We'll do another art stream, maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think about the Adventures of Bullets Bourbon Private Eye, if you have already picked up an issue or so, or if you're looking forward to this next issue, issue 7. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, until next we meet, this is Johnnie Torch, reminding you once again, keep the flame burning brightly, and I'll be with you again real soon.